up, obviously, but I have to wait for Twitch to switch out of hosting mode because it's still showing as hosting.yoda right now. Then we should be good. Alright, putting a whole bunch of colors here. I have silver, gold, some blue, some white. Probably put the white next to the silver. Hi guys. I see everybody's slowly trickling back in. That's great. And this was gonna go with the tree, so I can put that down there. A little orange for a snowman. Alright, I think we're good. Ah, I'm sorry, Annie, you can't play. Maybe you can do the replay later at some point. Work meetings are mean. Hi, Win. Welcome back. Alright, let's get these scoring cards out there. I think I have to move this slightly further to the side for you guys to be able to see everything. Okay, this should hopefully get us somewhere. A, B, C, and D. Oh, actually I might do them like this today. I think that might be better. And now I can put the landscapes up there. There we go. Alright. They're supposed to be below, but who cares? No promises on how long this stream is gonna take, but we'll see. If at one point you guys feel like it's taking too long, just let me know. I can always color quicker, and I might decide to do so halfway through anyway, because I want to do a pretty detailed Christmas map, but my health and I are in disagreement today about the plans, so we'll see. In Cartographers, we'll be playing 4 seasons, starting in spring and ending in winter. Normally a Cartographer's map has 5 mountains and 6 ruins already on the map. Ruins look like little temple symbols like this. And mountains are just a mountain, a pyramid, do something you like. So instead we are now going to determine where the mountains and the ruins will be on the map at the start of the game. So this way you can play with a different sheet every time. The Tabula Rasa file that you can find on BGG also comes with special rules called the Rift. So similar to the wasteland on the back of a normal cartographer sheet, except in this case it's dynamic, so the Rift would destroy some squares on your sheet every season. We will not be using those rules today, but we will be determining where the mountains and the ruins go at the start of the game, but I will be ignoring the Rift. Alright, so first it says 8, so this is 8, and now I have to determine a bottom row. 7, so 8.7 is where the first mountain will go. I'm not actually going to draw a mountain though, I think I'm going to draw like a little pile of presents. I want to draw a little pile of presents. There we go. We can do that, right? And a little bit of gold. And then some green. And then it needs some ribbons. See, this is why this is gonna take forever. But it's gonna be so fun. But yeah, this is not gonna be a live stream for impatient people, guys. My cartographer streams usually aren't. There we go. Ribbon. 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 Okay. 1 mountain. 4 more to go. 9. And I cannot land in 2 adjacent spots. If that happens, we do a reroll. 9.11. So that's gonna be up here. And the rules say if you roll 12, you either reroll or you can make it a wild card, but we all have to place them in the same place. So then I would have to talk with you guys and was gonna take even longer, so let's not do that. There we go. And then a green present. And a blue present. Where did I put my blue? What's my blue doing up there? Really weird looking mountains today. And a ribbon. I'm totally not expecting to last coloring this much detail for 2 hours, considering my current shoulder injury, but we'll see. 8.7, well, we already have one there, so that's not gonna happen, so we're gonna reroll the 7. 8.10, that is allowed. These mountains are landing really close together. What did it say? 8.10, that's here. There we go. So yeah, I think this would be an interesting alternate to a normal cartographer sheet. I don't mean the Christmas theme necessarily, I meant the Tabula Rasa one with the moving things. I definitely do want to do the Rift expansion sometime as well, but not today. Alright, that's 3 of them. 9.10, that's not gonna happen. Lower numbers would be nice. 9.12, still not gonna happen. 9.7, still not gonna happen. Eventually we'll roll something we can place. 9.4. There. And then we have one more mountain to go, and after that 6 ruin spaces. I don't think I thought at all about what I want to make a ruin space. We have to color over them, so probably just like a little snowflake or something. That's not the right color. Trying to keep my colors well sorted today. No promises. There we go. And let's start rolling another one. And he says she wanted the objective with the mountains connected to trees. That would have been an easy one this time. 5.11 is going to be our last mountain while I finish drawing ribbons on this. Uh, 5 and then 11 is going to be the last one. At least this way we get a very, very different sheet every time, which I find pretty interesting. I definitely like that idea about this. I already misplaced one of my colors, I think. Where's my gold? I had a gold marker. It's probably here with this. Yes, it is. There we go. And I need that. Should really start putting stickers on the side of some of these because the pens are really hard to see sometimes what color they actually are. But we'll see. We'll make it work. There we go. That was my final mountain. There we go. Lycan had that objective in mind. That's not this one. We'll get to what the objectives are for this game. But first, let's place the 6 ruin spaces. You can draw this type of symbol. This is why I left it out, but you can also draw something of your choice as long as you remember what it is. 11.8 is going to be the first one. I was going to draw little snowflakes. I remember you might have to draw over those so don't make it too dark. It's like semi-transparent in the actual original version of this game as well. I want to do snowflakes, but I want to do an intricate design, so I'm just going to make them little stars for now and figure it out later. And thanks Lycan for linking to the Tabula Rasa sheet. 5.12 for the next, that already has something, so that's not possible. 5.4. I'm not sure if you guys can see my ruin spaces, but I can. So that's most important, and you should have yours on the same place on your sheet anyway, so should be fine. 4.5. Hey, that's diagonally adjacent to the other one. But that's allowed, because adjacency in this game is pretty much always only orthogonal. So directly touching something, horizontally or vertically. 12, well that's not possible. 10 then. 10.3. And the ruin spaces are allowed to be adjacent to a mountain space, or just not allowed to be adjacent to each other. Same goes for the mountains. Alright, that's 4 of them placed. 11.9. Nope, that's going to be adjacent to the other one, so that's not it. 11.4. Well, that is allowed, so there we go. That's 5 of them. One more ruin space. Bye, Annie. Hi, Quentin. You're not too late to jump in if you still want to play as well. Well, if you have a blank Tabula Rasa sheet, or you grab it from this chat box, that is. We're just placing the mountains and the... let's see, this would be 6.11. That is also allowed. We are just placing the ruin spaces and the mountains. I'm doing them Christmas themed. So my mountains are now piles of presents, and I made little tiny, pretty much for you guys, invisible snowflakes for this. Okay, ready with this setup bit. No. Hey, I'm ruining my marker. No. And I'm gonna be a Christmas elf. See, none of this is actually useful for what we're doing, but it's fun. So we're doing it anyway. I want like a little Santa hat. I did find a white pen actually, so I hope it's gonna work. Then I don't have to... Oh, it is. Great. That's much easier than this one, and I can toss this one out. Use it as a side to side here. Alright. Actually ready now, so let's shuffle the land cards and explain to everybody what to do in case you don't know that. We're gonna shuffle in... We're first gonna shuffle some monsters. I have the monsters from the base game as well as the ambush expansion. I'll grab one of those and shuffle it into the deck of land cards. And on every turn I will reveal one of those, and you have to place that somewhere on your sheet. It's either going to be one particular color in 2 different shapes, or two different colors in one shape. So you'll always have a little bit of a choice on what you would like to do in a turn. Cards have a timer on them. Let me flip one over. Oh, that's upside down. In this case, Riftlands is going to be 1 square in a color of your choice, and the timer is currently 0. If those cards add up to 8 or more, that's going to be the end of a season. I'm going to have to move this slightly further to the side so that I can actually place the land cards from previous rounds in a way that you guys can still see them. Alright, should be good like this. Timer, there we go. And now I can put the ones that we've already played up there. Alright. So, the objectives. At the end of the first season, we'll score A and B, and then next season B and C, then C and D, and finally D and A. And that will be the end of the game. You'll also earn 1 point for surrounding a mountain, in my case a pile of presents. Again, diagonal doesn't matter, so in this case these 3 spots would mean I surround this mountain. Then I get a coin for that particular mountain. And you can earn that, and then you will score a point for each coin at the end of every season. And then the objective cards. This one says broken road, checking this line every diagonal starting from the left side of your sheet. If you fill that completely, you get 3 points. So at most you could earn 33 points for that in a season. Then we have Shield Gate that scores you 2 points for each square in your second largest village. There's 5 colors in the game, red villages. I'll try to use both colors and names when I refer to cards, especially since I'll probably be coloring something in weird colors. So 2 points each for your second largest village. So you want to create 2 red villages in pretty much equal sizing. Then we have Kennel Lake, which scores you a point for yellow farmland. For each square of yellow farmland that's touching a blue water square, and 1 point for each blue water square that's touching a yellow farmland square. So in this example, the blue touches yellow and the yellow touches blue, so all of these 3 will score 1 point each. This one doesn't score 2 points because it's touching 2 water squares. It's just, does it touch water, yes or no? And for the water it is, does it touch farmland, yes or no? If yes, it is worth 1 point. And then we have the tree tower. The tree tower says you get 1 point for each green forest space that's completely surrounded, so that doesn't have empty space next to it. So everything that you've colored, as well as the outer edge of the border, will count for that. Yes, so try to surround forest squares completely, either by other forest squares or other colors or the edge of the map. That's all fine. They will be 1 point for each square that you surround completely. That will be all of the objectives. So now everybody gets to color Riftlands. So 1 spot in a color of your choice somewhere on your map. You are allowed to place on top of the ruined spaces, so those semi-transparent ones that are snowflakes on my sheet, that you guys probably can't see, but those, you are allowed to place on them, but you don't have to. The card that I showed you earlier, the ruins card, if that comes up, then you're forced to place on top of that. Alright, so I'm going to put something in the bottom here, because that's just going to score me 3 points for the broken road. So that seems like a fine idea. And I'm going to make that green, because that way it is easier to surround it on all sides. So that might help with the tree tower later on in the game. That seems like a solid plan. Let me doodle a little Christmas tree. I'm trying to draw singular really big trees so I can draw some decoration in them. I thought that'd be fun. Here we go. Oh, I should have kept a brighter blue around. You can't see this blue. Well, decoration is gonna be gold and yellow then. With little strings of Christmas lights. Whee! And then obviously the tree needs a base. I might do the outline darker as well so you can see the shape of the actual tree a little better. There we go. 1 Christmas tree. Ha! 1 turn. Oh yeah, Inger, pretty much. I see Luke made it here. Yeah, you did. Just, we're doing the blank sheet, and if you have that already, we started by rolling dice to place mountains. So wherever you see a pile of presents here, that's where you need to place a mountain. So 1 is on 5.11, and then 8.7, 8.10, etc. I can't reach my keyboard. Can someone pretty please type the coordinates of the mountains and the coordinates of the ruined spaces so Erangel can copy us? That'd be wonderful. And while somebody types up those coordinates, I will rerun over the objectives so that he can join. So on this blank sheet, we first started by placing 5 mountains and 6 ruined spaces, those little pillars you normally have. You probably can't see them on mine, maybe if I lift this closer. Yeah, you can now. So I made them little snowflakey things I can draw over later. Someone is working on typing those up for you. Great. The coordinates for the mountains are already there. And then the objectives for this game are broken road, 3 points for diagonal starting on the left side. So doing a diagonal like this isn't going to be points. But diagonals like this are going to be 3 points for each completed line. 2 points each for your second largest city. So you want 2 cities of equal size basically. 1 point if yellow touches blue and 1 point if blue touches yellow for each square. So in this case these are 3 points. Not for the yellow doesn't score twice because it touches 2 blue spaces. It's just it touches blue, yes, so it's a point. And then the tree tower, not to be confused with the one that lets you connect mountains. Pretty please. The tree tower says you get 1 point if a green square is completely surrounded. Doesn't matter by what. It can be a mountain, it can be other squares, it can be the edge of the map, it can be more forest. Just something that you've either colored or that's the outer edge of your map. So that will be the objectives. And the first card we are doing is 1 square in any color of your choice, the Riftlands. And I've drawn a little Christmas tree here. Let me know when you're ready, Erangel, and then I will draw the card for the second turn. And of course you can just write an M on your sheet and an R for your ruins. Be careful that you are going to have to write over the R. So another suggestion could be that you mark the outer edge of this section where the ruins have to be so that you know those are ruin spaces. Mark it in a way that's convenient for you, basically. In the meantime, I'm drawing a stupidly detailed Christmas sheet for as long as my current shoulder injury wants to hold out. And once that fails, I'm just gonna draw simpler shapes and make it pretty later. Alright, Erangel got the map, so now he has to place 1 single Riftland square and then we can move on to the second turn. By the way, guys, don't be surprised if this game ends at like 10 PM. I warned you. That's a benefit, I suppose, for people watching a replay of my cartographers games. They can just skip when I'm doodling. And I thought this would be a good way to place the first one, because that's 1 diagonal, basically, completed, so that's going to be 3 points. And I figured if I make it green, it would help with my tree tower. So that's why I did that. The only downside with the way I've currently laid out my table is that you guys probably can't see the detail on my map too well, but I promise I'll post pictures of it later. And hey, you guys are here for the game and not to watch me draw, or at least I think you are. But hey, if you're here to watch me draw and hear me chat, that's fine as well. I hope Erangel plays this first square. So I'm keeping the old ones down here so we can track the timer, because once we're at 8 or more, that's going to be the end of spring. And then this is going to be the next card, Forgotten Forest. You know what? I'll just toss them like this right away and move this slightly. I think we're good like that. Okay. Forgotten Forest. So either 2 diagonal squares, which will earn you a coin. So that's 1 point at the end of every season. Or the bigger square, which might make it easier to score some points. So basically you get rewarded for picking a smaller shape, but the bigger shape can sometimes be worth more, depending on the objective. And again, since Erangel just joined, you are allowed to draw over those ruin spaces, but you don't have to unless a card says otherwise. I'm not going to yet, but just as a reminder. I'm gonna put the Forgotten Forest here and pick the bigger shape, because that will help with both the broken road and the tree tower. So with the current objectives, I feel like that's the better call. So let me draw 4 more Christmas trees. I genuinely think these Christmas trees might be quicker than the way I usually do my trees, because usually I draw several tiny trees into the same square. So while these have more detail, they are bigger shapes, so they might actually be quicker, but who knows. This is going to be one very Christmassy sheet. And tomorrow we'll doing patchwork doodle in a Christmas theme as well. And before that I've added Sex Stacker, which isn't on the Discord schedule yet, so maybe not all of you have seen that, but that starts at 6:30 PM is gonna be the Sex Stackers game, and then at 7:30 we're gonna do patchwork doodle, also with a Christmas themed sheet. I hope I can find mine. I reorganized my house the other day. If not, I'll just grab a blank sheet and draw something Christmassy on it myself. But it is a coloring page from the Polish publisher, so I figured that'd be nice and easy to do and make it quicker to get everything colored up. So I thought that'd be a good idea. And there's my gold. And some little garlands. All right. There we go. That wasn't too bad, to be honest. That was pretty quick coloring on my part. I hope you guys are ready as well. You probably are, because you guys tend to draw with a lot less detail than I do. And now we have the orchard, which puts us at 3 out of 8. And we write down this shape in either green forest or yellow farmland. I like that it has symbols as well as colors in case anybody's colorblind, and the artwork also tends to represent the things you have to pick from, so that's pretty cool. Remember, you are allowed to rotate it as well as put shapes upside down if you want. I'm just gonna keep drawing these little Christmas trees because it looks fun. More Christmas trees! I'm gonna put those there. And that's gonna cover one of my ruin spaces, but again, that's allowed. And J-Ringle, you were lucky because this particular sheet required us to place the ruins and the mountains first, which takes a bit of time. Next time I might just do that ahead of time and then post the coordinates in the chat at the start to speed it up. But we did it live this time. I also started a little later because we did a play along before this and I was a little late grabbing all of my coloring supplies. So it worked out nicely. You didn't miss too much this time. There we go. At least if I keep drawing the same shape, I should get quicker at it, right? That's the logic anyway. Or at least I think it is. And I see the viewer count is pretty stable, so even though the chat box is pretty quiet, I'm gonna assume that means everybody is playing along frantically and I'm not boring anybody yet, so that's good. I hope you guys are also doing a Christmas themed sheet. I will love you if you do. I mean, come on guys, it's the season and all that. And I get that with the current world state, some people might very much not be in the mood. I also feel very bad for people that can't see their loved ones due to regulations. But we're gonna try and make the best of it anyway. Yeah, I was rebooting between the two different streams at 8:30, so that was why I was grabbing my coloring supplies. Wim says if we keep getting forest, it's going to be a strange game. It can't be stranger than the one where we kept pulling duplicates, right? Oh, look, it's more forest. Although in this case, this might be the village might be the smarter one to pick, but I want to pick more forest, and I think I'm gonna pick more forest. Uh-oh, one of the cats sounds like they're gonna throw up. At least throw up on the floor and not on my table. Thank you kindly. Yes, you are. It's the long-haired cat. I think he has a hairball stuck somewhere. I'll clean it up after the game, baby. So if you hear a really weird background noise, that is the poor cat being sick. Because he has hair stuck in his tummy. Poor thing. Alright, treetop village. This shape in either forest or village. I'm gonna stick with my village of Christmas trees. And I'm gonna put those like that. Yeah, let's do that. So... and it's gonna cover another one of my ruin spaces, which is fine by me. My trees are wobbling over a bit. That's fine, right? Totally fine. And as you can see, you are allowed to put a shape upside down. I've said that already, but sometimes I keep repeating some things, especially when we're drawing a lot, because it's easy to miss something the first time, especially if you're playing a game for the first time. It's easy to not remember a rule, and then later on when it might actually be more relevant to you, you might be like, oh, I wish I would have remembered that. Erangel says if we get no more villages, that's going to be awkward. And yeah, that's why I'm going for the tree tower. Plus, it's pretty much at the end of the game, so my first season might be very weak, but I'm hoping to score a whole lot of points by the time we get to that one. And if we don't get a second village in the current round, then this one won't score me any points. If we do get another one, this one might net you like 8 to 10 points, so it could be nice, but I was just gonna stick with my little Christmas trees. I like the way they look on my sheet. They're so festive. And let's see, little tree trunks. Alrighty. Lycan says his shield gate is a whopping 1 point. You made your rift space a shield or a red village, then I suppose. Also, that means it's going to be 2 points, because it's 2 points for each square in your smallest city. So I suspect that means you have 2 points. It's not possible to score 1 point for it, but I get your drift, basically. But yeah, if you picked a village for your very first Riftland card, then you could indeed have some points for that already. I, however, did not. I just picked trees. And now I have the Dutch Oak Christmas Tree song stuck in my head, which really isn't a great song, but alright, we'll manage. Twitch is pretty iffy about putting copyrighted music on any type of stream, otherwise I might have tried to figure out how to play some Christmas music for you guys, but not that song. For the record. Oh, look, it's something else, and it's a village. Erangel is gonna be pleased now. Lycan locked his smallest village away. Yeah, that's not too smart, but at least you have points this round. But yeah, would have been nice to have 2 villages you could actually extend. On that note, a fishing village. So either red village or blue water in this shape. I'm gonna put that here and surround my mountain, aka pile of presents, and score a coin for that. I think that's gonna be a good idea. And I have to see which one I would like to pick. If I want to pick this one for the candlelight or go for this and hope for another village card. I think I am going to start working on a village, because this is a great place to start building a big one, and then maybe another one can go in another corner. So that would be good. I'm going to make streets first. So, okay, that's too light. Let's make that silver. So all of my villagers are going to have a little gray background. I'm too lazy to draw a cobblestone pattern on it, so you can just imagine it. And then I'll put little houses there. And let's see. I'm gonna do that on colored pencil. I cannot pen because I want to put snow on the roof, and I'm not sure the snow will show if I do it any other way. Alright. There we go. The sizing of this thing is very off, but nobody cares. Definitely not great on my shoulder to use colored pencils, because it takes more strength to actually bring out the color. I want to do a little garland red thingy on the front door. Okay, that doesn't work this small. I can just make a green front door then. Good enough. And now some snow on the roof. Yes, Shieldgate says second largest, don't worry. Like, it's like, let me double check if it doesn't say smallest village, because then I just really put myself in trouble and locked that one down at 2 points. But no, that's not what it says. There we go. Snow. And put some snow on the street as well. Otherwise that makes no sense. There we go. Probably at some point also gonna color the background behind the Christmas trees, but not today. Alright, next card. That's gonna put us at 2, 4, 6, 8, so that's the last one. Hamlet, either a smaller one with a coin or a bigger one without a coin. A bigger one would score me 2 more points for the shield gate in both seasons, so that's basically the same 4 points as the coin would net me over all 4 seasons, so I might as well grab the bigger one. Oh, I almost forgot to write down the coin for surrounding my mountain. I should also mark it so that I know which mountain I've already scored, so I'll just make that a little white border. That way it's not too distracting, but I can still tell that I've scored it. So there we go. And that means I cross off a coin. Okay, I'm gonna color a bigger hamlet now. Again, with a street first. Let's see where... I think this would be a very convenient place to put that. Here it would help me score on the diagonal for the broken road, but here it will help me surround a whole bunch of mountains, and it's quite far off from the other village I'm working on, so I think that'd be a good idea. That covers up another one of my ruin spaces, but oh well. It's not like I was doing too much with those. No, just if they are equal size, they're just still number 1 and 2. Lycan asked if you have 3 villages, but 2 of them are equal sizes. That then make your tiny village your smallest, but no. Basically, it just looks at your 2 biggest villages and then scores the smaller one if they're not the same size. That's basically what that does. But that was a good question. I can imagine more people will be wondering about that at some point, so that's a good one to have asked. Hope you guys are still having fun despite the slower pace these tend to have. There are streamers that get through a game of this in like 1 hour that mostly use like solid colors. I'm like, I'm never gonna get to that point. I think the quickest I've done here is about 1.5 hours, maybe slightly under. But yeah, this is probably going to be more 2 hours, maybe even longer, because we took quite a bit of time placing the mountains and the ruins. Like I said, I'll definitely do that ahead of time next time, but that wasn't in the cards today. Alright. Snowy rooftop. This is a great pen. I love it. Alright, snow on the street. Snow, 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 snow. Snowflakes in the air, probably. Otherwise, this still doesn't make too much sense. There we go. Green front door and then tallying up some points. Alright, so broken road diagonals. 1, 2, 3, 4, because I'm missing squares here, so that's 4 of them times 3, so that scores me 12 for the broken road. My smallest village, of my second largest village, I should say, is 4 squares times 2 is 8. 1 point for the coin, 0 points for the mountains, so that puts me at a solid 21. Mountains will score you minus points later. Erangel is at 25, Wim is at 23, Lycan is at 17, so all still pretty close. These are going to be shuffled back in. And also we are going to put a second monster in there. So the longer you go without spawning a monster, the more likely you will find one later on. And of course we're also moving from spring into summer. Not that this sheet is looking very summery, but hey. Oh, that would be fun to do sometime, to change what I color based on what season we're in, so that at the end of the game you can actually see what season squares have been placed in. It would look really messy, or at least really busy, but it does sound kind of cool. I might want to do that sometime. And he said scoring this one would be a little hard. Not necessarily. I mean, if you get like one, if you write down one water shape and one farmland shape, that can easily be like 6 to 8 points depending on the shape. So plus you don't have to score everything. It's possible to be like, oh, I'm just gonna ignore this one a bit and focus on the other things as well. That's definitely a possibility that you might want to go for. Up to you, really. Alright. First card of the summer season, the marshlands. This stupid tablecloth is bulbing up a bit and pushing up my cards. Oh well, I think it's alright. So marshlands, which puts the timer at 2 out of 8. By the way, for those new to the game, fall will only have a timer of 7 and winter will have a timer of 6. So the game will start to speed up as you play it, because your sheet is fuller, so you'll have less options available to you, and the time will be shorter. So okay, where do I want to put marshlands? I just want to do more Christmas trees because they're fun, but it's probably smarter to put it here and surround another mountain and work on surrounding even more mountains. I think that might be smarter, to be honest. Because I don't have to worry about this one quite yet. It's going to come up again in winter, but it's quite a while, so I don't really have to put much here right now. I think it'd be better to try and get the points for those mountains out, because they will score every round. And I might, instead of doing it as a forest, I might actually do it like this and do work on the Canal Lake, because these are only 1 point if they're completely surrounded. So if I put them here, that's going to be a lot of squares to surround them at all. So I think in this case the water might be a better bet. I'm gonna draw a little river type thing then in little icy blue, and maybe at some point in the future I'll draw little people ice skating on it, but again, not today. Or a little sled or something. Might want to add more detail to that at some point, but yeah, definitely not today. Today we'll just go for this. There we go. Probably want to make that a little wider actually. There we go. I think everyone is still busy puzzling because the chat box is still kind of quiet. That's alright. I've had games of this where the chat box was really busy, and then when I tried to draw, it's a lot of multitasking, so actually quite alright that you guys are also busy drawing and puzzling, because that gives me time to focus on this as well. But don't take that as a hint that you have to be silent. I'm fine with you guys chatting if that's what you feel like doing. Alright, snow, more snow. Lots of snow. Lots of snow and ice. That's also part of a Christmas song. About a mistletoe. Alright, so there we go. Little icy bits on the river. Okay, good to go, I think. And it's looking quite winter wonderlandy. I'm not too unhappy with that. I think this is looking pretty fun. Snow needs to be a little more smudged. Okay, good. Next, homestead. We are getting a lot of different shapes this game. I like that. We've had games where things got a little repetitive, so this is good. Oh, also I surrounded this one now, so I should mark that off. There we go, and that's another coin. So I can now either put that here and score some more and get scoring some points for the Kennel Lake. That's already 6 points right there, so it's definitely not a half bad plan. The other option is making it a homestead village and putting it here so that it can score a mountain and extend a village, and then hopefully I can extend this village later on this season so the shield gate will score me some more points. Both are pretty appealing options, to be honest, but I think I'm gonna go for the village option in this case. This is definitely the part where I think both options would be good, so I wouldn't be surprised if somebody else picks something different compared to what I'm picking. Again, starting with coloring the street a little bit. So far my shoulder isn't bugging out too bad, so that's good. I think I'll be able to finish this okay, and then hopefully it will stay kind of stable so that we can do tomorrow's patchwork doodle with no problem. But like I said, if I can find the sheet I printed, and I'm pretty sure I will be able to, then that should be fine, because it's kind of a coloring page, so that's a lot less extensive on my shoulder than having to draw from scratch. So I think I did this in the right order, which is why I did this one first and not the other way around. Plus, I know Cartographers tends to be the one that most of my regulars really love, and it's pretty much my personal favorite as well. And I can imagine tomorrow on Christmas Eve that some people could already be with family and might not be able to make it in. So I thought I'd put a more popular game on the evening that would be easier for people to join. Unfortunately, that didn't quite work out for Annie today with her work meeting, but hopefully she'll be here again next time. Alright. Little front doors, because it's nice if you can actually enter your house. Seems quite helpful, right? Okay then. Next. Our ruin symbol, so that means the next one has to go on top of our ruin symbol. If you already covered all of them up, I didn't, I still have 3 out of 6 left, then you instead place 1 square in a color of your choice somewhere else on your map. Oh, that's a monster. The monster does not have to go on the ruin space. The monster is going to interrupt our game, and after that we'll continue with the ruin space. In this case, it says we have to draw a square. Normally in a multiplayer game you would pass your sheet around, in this case counterclockwise to your neighbor. That's not gonna work online. So instead we are gonna use solo rules, and that says start in the bottom left corner, so over here. And if the monster doesn't fit there, you continue sliding him around, in this case counterclockwise on your sheet, until he fits somewhere. If you make it all the way around and he still doesn't fit, go inside, and so you basically continue in a spiral until you can fit him somewhere. In my case, that means he's gonna have to be on these 4 spaces. I'm gonna make a little snowman. Whee, snowman. I hope we can see this. This is not as white as I want it to be. I couldn't find my white pencil. I'll just color blend a little bit and we'll make it work. Alright. And now we'll actually draw a little snowman. I've decided mine will be snowman today. I hope my white pencil is gonna hold. It's currently not liking me. Or my white marker, I meant, not a pencil. Shake, 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 shake. Oh, you said it's only 2 runes for you. I still have a runes here and there, so I do have a third. Mine landed slightly next to the runes and not on top of it. But yeah, apparently for Lycan and Erangel they are on top of it. It doesn't look like it wants to work with me anymore. Come on. Give me a snowman. Oh no. I do have this one, but it needs time to dry, so I can't add in the detail to the snowman until much later if I do this. It is a much more convincing snowman though. And now hopefully I don't smudge this out with my hands. So we'll see how that goes. Also a little 3D snowman this way. It does look fun. I do like it. Alright, so the monsters. They are 1 minus point for each empty adjacent square. So right now I would have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 minus points because again diagonals don't count. Hopefully I'll be able to get rid of some of those. I'll add detail to my snowman later once this is properly dried up. The monster goes out of the game, and thank you, Quinton. We are indeed making good progress. So the orchid now has to go on top of any of the ruins spaces, whether you like that or not. I actually quite like that because I can set a green forest or yellow farmland, and if I put that here, that's gonna score some more points for the Kennel Lake. So I think that's pretty alright. That's going to put us at 6 out of 8 time-wise. So I really hope the next one is going to be a village. Because I now have one really large one and one kind of small one that I would love to extend before the shield gate goes out of the game. Had I decided what I was coloring for farmlands this game? Oh yeah, I was going to do a little reindeer for the farmlands one. That was the logic. Reindeer farms exist, guys, whether you like it or not. But don't worry, we won't be eating the Christmas reindeer. I like reindeer. Let's see. Oh, hi Floof. One of the cats has joined us. This is not the best reindeer I've ever drawn, but it's okay. As long as it's somewhat sensible what we're doing. There's a little tail. And he will need antlers later. Shape first. There we go. Legs. Ears are very important. Ears. There we go. And now for antlers. I think I drew my reindeer darker than I was originally going to. I think I grabbed the wrong marker. That's okay. Now they'll have lighter antlers instead. That's not too bad, honestly. I want to give them all little red noses. They're all Rudolph now. Here we go. Alright. One farmland's done. Do need to give them some kind of background color at some point. I can mix this with the green a little bit. See, now they are at least a little farmlandish-y. There we go. Snow! No, my pen doesn't want to make snow anymore. Aww. Mean pen. Oh, now it is a little. Fixed it a little. Alright. Done. Oh, people are now having a discussion in my chat box about what size reindeer are. I've seen them in real life. And they aren't as big as I was expecting. There's a couple of zoos in our country that have them, and well, I think there's 1 or 2 of them, and there's a German wildlife park not too far across the border that has them as well. with warning signs that people should stop feeding them crap because they've already had 3 of them die over the years. Stupid humans. Alright. I hope you guys managed to remember to put it over a ruin space. I did. So, next one. A riftland. Yay, I can extend my teeny tiny village. If I do that up here, that's gonna help get another diagonal, hopefully at some point. Another option I am considering, however, is putting something either here, so it finishes off the mountain and scores and can score a point, or here to get rid of a minus point from the monsters. This would get me 2 points though, so this would be better. Because if I make this blue, it will score a point for blue touching yellow, and it will score a point for completing off another mountain. But this one would score 2. So basically they both score 2, but this one gets to score again next season and this one doesn't. So it seems better to do this and just leave the shield gate be. Even though this could help with the broken road. I feel like this would be better. Alright, let's go for that. Putting something here. I'm gonna make a little frozen lake. Where's my blue? There it is. Little lake. There we go. See if the white marker wants to cooperate again. It is a little more cooperative by now. Okay. Here we go. And it still puts it at 6 out of 8 because the Riftland isn't actually anything like that, so that's good. Hope everybody's ready. Sometimes this one takes people a bit because it's pretty much free choice, so there's a lot of options for it. Yell at me if you're not ready. If not, I'm drawing the next card. What did you miss, Wim? I don't know if you missed one. It's not like we've been playing that quickly, so if you manage to miss one, then I have no idea what you're doing. I know Wim sometimes does stuff like cook dinner while we're playing. Before the Riftlands, it was this one, the orchard, and it had to go on top of a ruin space. I'll just wave them out so you can see all of them. So the first one was the marshlands, then the homestead, then the monster, obviously. And then the orchard that came on top of a ruins, and now we're at Riftlands. Ah, apparently Wim is playing 2 games at the same time. That's not smart. Lucas committed to just not scoring this card at all. That's definitely an option. Well, if you got Orchard, I just showed the other 2, so then you missed a turn that was like 10 minutes ago or something. But before this was a monster, and even before that was Homestead and Marshlands. So I don't know what you missed if you think you missed something, but must have been quite a while ago if you don't have all of these. Because it was this one, then Orchard, then Monster, so if you missed something before that, it was a long time. Ah, Wim just thought he did, but he doesn't actually miss anything. Well, that's better then. Forgotten Forest. We've seen this one before. It adds 1 to the time, so we're now at 7 out of 8. And it's either this one or that one. The smaller one nets you a coin. Oh, speaking of coins, I need to mark the coin I got for that mountain there. I also have this one right now. I've only marked this one and this one, so I still need to mark 2 more mountains that I haven't actually marked yet. Oops. I'm very good at forgetting to do that, even with a regular sheet. And now they look less like mountains because they are hand-drawn. Even if I drew them as a mountain, I probably would have still forgotten because it's not pre-printed on the sheet now. Jason, if you're watching a replay of this, we miss you. Because you're very good at reminding me when I forget stuff. Plus, you're fun to play with. We hope to see you back around, but I know the timing of my streams hasn't worked out too well for you lately. Alrighty. Where am I putting this? I'm not quite sure where I would like to put this, to be honest. I kind of want to leave space around this open for scoring the Kennel Lake, but also do want to get rid of some minus points, so diagonal does look somewhat interesting, but putting it in these 2 spots does feel a little wasteful. At least this one already scores this, I would kind of only lose the point for that. It's not too bad. I think that might be the best call, to put it in these two spaces and get rid of a minus point and also help with surrounding the last mountain. I think I'll go for that. Are these dry yet? They are. I can start decorating my little snowman in a bit. Oh, darn it, my shoulder and my neck are freezing up and looking up now. That's not good. We're only halfway through this. Not even halfway, almost halfway. That's not good. I hope I can last. I think it's back to bed for me after this one. I didn't mean after this particular card, I meant after this game. Before anybody gets worried that we won't get to finish, I will stubbornly sit it out. Worst that will happen is that I will stop drawing detail, but I'm probably too stubborn to do that, so I'll probably just continue drawing and ruin my shoulder. Because it's too pretty to mess up. I know, guys, not the best choice. Don't base your life choices on the way I handle my health. That's not a good plan. But to be fair, not moving at all is also not good for my shoulder, because it remains frozen as well. So I do need to keep it moving. I just need to not overexert. Plus, with chronic pain, it's not like being smart about it is going to make all of your pain magically disappear. It's chronic for a reason, so it's just better and worse depending on when. There is no other Rift Lens in the deck. All cards in the deck are unique. You might get one in next season, but right now, not happening. And Lycan is saying, we talked about this in previous streams, that once you play this game more, you'll start to know a little bit about the cards in this particular game. And he said he's banking on a particular card to show up, and that might not have been wise. And that we've established that many times in the past, but somehow people keep doing it. Alright, the snowman needs a little carrot nose. And little beady eyes. And little stick figure arms. And the scarf. At least it's fun to do. I'm not saying it's smart, but it's fun. Multicolor scarf. There we go. Done. Next card. And that puts us at 8. And hey, I can actually extend my shield gate before we score. That's great. And let's see, this one is at 4 and this one is at 9, I believe. So if I add another 5 to this, that would score me 19 points. So missing out on the coin for that is perfectly acceptable. I'm gonna go for the bigger Hamlet. And while you guys score the next one, I might need to take like 1 minute, not before too long, to put some ointment on my neck to help it loosen up a little bit. Otherwise, I'm not sure I'm gonna get through to the end of this. You guys might have a very silent stream for a minute while you guys tally points, because this does mark the end of the season. Let's see, more rooftops. But yeah, due to the timing of this being close to Christmas, I didn't really want to do the Christmas play along. I didn't want to cancel this particular stream. Plus, I didn't get to stream on Monday and Tuesday, even though I had hoped I would, because I have been busy sorting over 100 games for sale and putting them into a spreadsheet and boxing them up nicely and all that, which was a lot of work, but well worth it, hopefully. I'm trying to thin out the collection a bit, partially because of space. Usually I mostly trade stuff because it's better value-wise than selling. But if you keep getting new games as demo fees and as review copies, and you only trade stuff, then basically you keep getting more and more and more. And at some point, space is gonna run out. But also, unfortunately, my dad lost his job due to the pandemic. I'm working in a branch where there's just not enough work anymore. So I'm also selling that many games to help out my family financially. I don't live with my parents, but they have always been a huge support to me, so I want to try and help out where I can. So Erangel is saying his villagers were 8 to 8, so turning that into 11 versus 8 isn't gonna get him any more points. That is true. Lots of discussion about big villages in the chat box. Well, you guys seem to be busy chatting, so I'm gonna put the ointment on real quick and then I'll be back to tally up my season and then we'll continue. Give me a minute. Luckily my apartment is small, so I only need to take like 5 steps. I'll be back real quick. Alright, I am back. You guys seem to be busy tallying, so that's good. Anyway, I've returned. And if you do live in the Netherlands or you live in like a neighboring country where shipping costs wouldn't be too bad, feel free to contact me if you're interested in possibly buying games. But yeah, I've been doing that for pretty much 2 full days right before the sale, Monday and Tuesday, which is why I had to skip streaming on those evenings, and also why my shoulder is really aggravated today. Because I did too much heavy lifting. Okay, points. The shield gate first, because we're in summer, so it's B and C. Mine are now 2, 4, 6, 3, 6, 9. Oh, this is 9. I thought it was bigger. And this is also 9, I think. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. It is. So that's 18 points for shield gate. No cat. The cat is crawling underneath the tablecloth and trying to... Well, she was actually trying to crawl underneath the game. We saved it. And then Kennel Lake, so for each one I check, is it next to the other color basically. So this one is yes, 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 and vice versa. And so is this one, so I score 7 points for the Kennel Lake. I score 4 points because I have had 4 mountains surrounded so far. Oh no, I actually have picked this small shape. I should have crossed that off as well. That was this one, so I actually score 5 points for my coins. And there is a limit of 14 here. And then the monsters, I have 2 minus points left for those. There we go. So this was going to be 25, 30 minus 2. I believe it puts me at 28 if I can do any type of math today. I think I can. So, good. And yeah, it was indeed Emmy. So, that finishes up this season. The monster that we've seen has been taken out of the deck. There is still 1 monster left though, and again there's going to be 1 added in. And it's good that I forgot a coin, because apparently I reminded one of the other players that they did as well. Okay. Lots of shuffling. And then we're moving on to fall. Oh yay, the ointment is helping a little bit. It at least takes the edge off the pain. Alright, we're starting with a little hamlet. We are now scoring C and D, and in the final season we're scoring D and A. That means shield gate is no longer relevant. I'm going to put it upside down so to make that easier for you guys to remember. Luke isn't too happy with the fact that that's coming out now. It might still help you with your broken road or get rid of some minus points or something like that. I think that's what I'm aiming towards. I can surround the last mountain, but I will have one single square left here, which wouldn't be too good for the little snowman, so let's not do that. More diagonals is what I'm gonna have to do, so I think these three are looking kind of alright. I can also try and surround more trees for the tree tower, so I can also opt to put them like this. I suppose that would also be alright. Yeah, I think it would. Let's do that. Alright. Little houses again. I do really like my Christmas sheet. It's worth the effort. Little rooftops. These houses are becoming really crooked. Nobody cares. Yeah, and sometimes if you just want to get rid of monsters, it doesn't really matter what shape it is either, but agreed, red is definitely the least desirable shape right now, but it can still be worth some stuff. I picked a smaller shape. Let's mark the coin before I forget. Cat, what the crap are you doing? Oh, you're catching your own tail. Can you do that not next to my game, darling? Because that's not too practical. Go off the table. There you go. Good kitty. Yes. Good kitty. Get out of the way a little bit. Alright. I am done. I am done chasing off a cat. That's like the little spoiled brat cat out of the four. Not that they aren't all spoiled, but this one acts like a little diva, and she's like, if I decide I want to destroy everything, then that's what I'm going to do. Like the other cats, when they wander off the table game, Layton might try to catch something sometimes or something, but he won't like just sit on top of a game on purpose, and she'll just run straight through everything. Because she really doesn't care. So yeah, I figured it would be a good idea to make sure she would go somewhere else. So I had to go lure her somewhere else and then pet her a little bit so that she was pleased with me again. And now she's staying there, hopefully. At least for now. I marked off the coin. Alright, ready to move on then. As you can see, the tablecloth went all crooked. Blame the cat. It was such... Well, the tablecloth was already a little crooked, but it's definitely much worse now. Let's see. Erangel was hoping for more green. Yeah. It's not the strongest scoring card. These two are definitely the strong ones this particular game, but with the way we had started out, it was looking quite nice for that one. You mean... the game in space with trade routes and all that. Do we have a game in space with trade routes and all that? I mean, game in space makes me think Gaia Project, and I'm pretty sure it was Gaia Project, but it doesn't make me think trade routes. But yeah, that was Imi. We played that game twice, and we played it once, and then we wanted to do it a second time, and we set it back up with a different layout, and then we went to break for dinner, and like halfway through the second game, or maybe we hadn't even started the second game yet, but at least it was fully set up. And then we were trying to break for dinner, and then while we were doing that, the cat completely destroyed the game. It's still in one piece at least, as in, okay, it's in all the pieces it's supposed to be. And she didn't damage anything, but we were like, yeah, okay, we're not setting this up again. Never mind, we'll go play something else. And it's a treetop village. I'm considering putting that here, which will help me surround those and surround the mountain. But this shape is also quite convenient up here for the broken road, so... But if I put it here, it's unlikely to actually score for the tree tower, even though it's nice for the broken road, so... It might be better doing it here anyway. Where am I for these diagonals anyway? This one is mostly done, but I just need that particular piece. And for this one, oh, I would need that one as well. Okay, fine, never mind. Okay, I'm gonna put that here. I figured it out. That was kind of my preferred spot anyway, so... More Christmas trees. And look, Erangel, you finally have more green. I love how we're getting to the point where we have more decorated Christmas trees than we have houses in this village. It looks funny. But not in a bad way. By the way, considering we were speaking of it like a minute ago, Gaia Project is a really, really, really good game. Both multiplayer and solo. It's in my top 3 solo games, actually. The automa in it is really, really well designed. It has an automa where like one half of one card, so you put 2 cards side by side, and then one half says this is what action you're doing, and then the other half of the other card will say where or how you're supposed to do that, which makes it make it feel more like playing against an actual person, because if it's a deck with static actions, I have a pretty solid memory, so I run into the risk of knowing, well, oh, this particular card is still in the deck, and that's gonna play out like that, and then I can anticipate, and that makes it a lot less fun for me. So I love how the Automa and Gaia project has been executed. Really great game. And it's not that hard to run as well. Plus it has different factions. It's asymmetrical. And each faction kind of pushes you towards particular strategies or gives you particular abilities. So that makes it very replayable as well. Hi Dutch Yoda. We're doing a very slow Cartographers play along in Christmas theme using the Tabula Rasa variant. So I'm currently doodling a sheet with little snowed in houses and colored Christmas trees and evil snowmen and little reindeer and all that. My mountains are piles of presents. Oh, I finished my last mountain, speaking of that. As in, I've surrounded that now. That's good. Yes, kid, I hear you. And coin then. Great. Alright, next card. What did you play today, Dutch Yoda? And did you win? Like said, opted that the fact that we wanted to play 2 games of Gaia Project back to back said enough about the quality of the game. And if you know us implies like we don't play heavy games, we do, but we also like a lot of variety, so we tend to play a lot of different games. And we do stuff like 10x10 challenges, so stuff does cycle back, but we don't usually play the same game twice in the same day, and if we do, it's usually something really light and quick. Like, oh wait, we finished this and we only want to play for like 15 more minutes, so setting up something else is not going to be convenient, so let's do another round. Something like that. But for heavy games, we tend to prefer alternating those. We might play the same game like every week for a month, that's fine, but we don't usually play anything back to back if it's heavier, but that one is just so good. Ooh! Riftlands. Erangel is going to be very pleased with this, and so am I. I am going to put that here and put a little Christmas tree. I could have put it here as well because it's 2 points here, but it's also 2 points here, and even more actually because it finishes a broken road diagonal, so it's definitely better here, although I would like something here as well that's water, but I will very, very, very happily take this. Also, I still have 2 ruin spaces left somehow. I'm surprised by that. With how quickly I started filling those up at the start, I'm really surprised they have remained this long. And yeah, we so far did indeed have a Riftlands every round. That does a little bit of flexibility to the game, which is good. I don't know if Dutch Yoda actually stuck around after saying hi to us, because I don't know if he heard me, because I asked what game he played today and I haven't seen him answer yet. But I'm curious. I'll just look at the replay later if he doesn't reply. Alright, so this was a really convenient card, to be honest. I want more decorations in this Christmas tree. Okay, there we go. I am getting quicker at drawing these. What are we at time-wise? 1 hour and 20 minutes. That's really not bad. Considering how much detail I'm doing on this, I think we are actually gonna do this in under 2 hours including setup. Or it might be even closer to the 90 minutes than the 2 hours today. I was really not expecting that. Alright, next one has to go on our ruins. And again, it's a monster. The monster does not go on the ruins. This is similar to what we had to happen the previous season. We start in the bottom left corner also. And we move it, in this case, clockwise, so it goes upwards. If you can't fit it, again, continue moving inwards in a spiral. So mine is going to have to go up here, which is really, really shitty. It does at least... Oh, actually not that bad, because, yeah, it does finish a diagonal. It scores me 3 points for the broken road, so... It's not that awful. It's going to give me 4 minus points and score me 3, so... Kind of balances out, but obviously I would much rather have it be like here or something. But I can deal with this. Again, I'm gonna draw my snowman with this and then put detail once this has dried later. I don't know if I ever explicitly mentioned this. I did say you have to put this shape and road in and move it around in the right direction with the solo rules, but you also absolutely cannot rotate or mirror them. You have to leave them as is when using these solo rules, and they have to be placed according to the rules I just went over again. And let's see, that means another one of them goes here. Another one of them goes here. Alright. And now I wait for that to dry, and then in the future I'll make them more snowman shaped. Like, it's like, yay, kobolds! Oh wait, those are a bad thing. And Erangol's landed in the top left corner. I don't know what your sheet is looking like. I would find that pretty terrible on mine, to be honest. But yeah, on this border is definitely better than like having to move it sideways and have it land somewhere here. I think that would be pretty much the worst thing that could happen right now. Wim is clearly still very busy multitasking between 2 games because he's very quiet in the chat. I'm not used to that. It's weird. I hope everybody has placed our monster though. I will move it away then. Wim is like, hello! I'm still here. I figured you were still here because I know you really like this game, so I figured you hadn't actually left, but... Oh hey, the camera got tilted as well. I blame the cat. Okay, so onto the ruins. If you still have one, we will place a great river. Oh, I'm sad I have a ruins. I want a great river here, without the ruins. Darn it. I'm very displeased with this. Anyway, if you do not have a ruin space or you cannot fit either of these shapes, then instead you put, like you imagine it was a riftland, so you put 1 square in a color of your choice anywhere on your sheet. I, however, do have a ruin space left. And if you have a ruin space left but you can't fit a particular shape, I think the single square has to go on top of the ruins first, but I'm not 100% sure about that. Okay, so I'm gonna have to put something here and I'm gonna have to see what's least inconvenient. Most convenient, it definitely doesn't apply here. I could get rid of some of the minus points. I could also make it go, you pick the bigger shape, skip the coin and put it like this. That way I cover both of my remaining ruin spaces, which I think I'd be interested in. And it could help with the broken road later on. I think I'm alright with it. I think that's what I'm going for, honestly. Alright. River. But yeah, I would have liked to do the smaller river and put that down there, and that would have scored me another 3 points. At least I can get rid of my ruin spaces now. Goodbye ruins, I will not miss you. Yes, Cat, I hear you. Yes, very whiny mewing. She's being playful, she's mewing at things. I think she's seeing ghosts or something. I don't know. She's running all around and trying to catch things, I think. I don't know what she's doing. But yeah, all the weird background noise, blame the cat, guys. You know those are included with all of my streams. Alright. Snowy background. Wim says this is his first non-orange or green space. What do you mean by orange? The village or the... Oh, there's someone newer in there as well. Hi, Jabby. Sorry I missed that. I was coloring. Wim, do you mean the village or the farm? I'm gonna assume you mean the village. Because, yeah, I think so far it was possible to only pick green and red. But Wim called it orange. So I was confused a little. Riverbank. Okay, my white pen is bugging out again. I really need to order more of these white ones. Alright. And of course, indeed, monsters not included, Wim, I got that. Alright. Done. Let's see if these are dry yet. They are. Ooh, then I can finish my little snowman while people puzzle this out. And we're time-wise only at 4 out of 7. This is a bit of a slower season. Little carrot nose. My brain is so singing Frosty the Snowman right now. That's actually one of my favorite Christmas songs. Especially the version by Bowling for Soup, but anything by Bowling for Soup is pretty great, to be fair. Well, almost everything. I mean, every band's probably bound to have a song or two you like less, but I don't think they have a song that I genuinely hate or anything. I don't think they do. Although I am undecided about their new Brad Pitt theme song. It is stupidly catchy. It might be worse than Baby Shark, but it is a lot more enjoyable to listen to than something like Baby Shark. So I don't think I hate it. I also am not sure yet. It's definitely a love or hate it type of song though. I'm also not sure I love it. It's weird. It's like this thing that you're like, no, get it out of my head, and then you keep playing it anyway. Alright, 4 out of 7, card done. Let's move it so we don't see the ruin space and get confused. Next, and that's gonna put us at 6. So still one more card to go after this, and this is the Hinterland Stream, a bit of a larger shape. Not a very convenient one with my sheet, by the way. Like this would be possible. Like these, I have little corners here that are really annoying. I think I'm gonna go for this. Or this. This might be better. I'm gonna have a little hole here then, but that's fine. I don't think I'm ever gonna get that particular diagonal anyway, so I think that's okay. Time for another reindeer farm. Alright, little ear, little neck, body. What is Mr. Peebles playing, by the way, Wim? If he's still going. We're multitasking anyway, then at least I want to know what's going on here. I'm curious. And let's see. There we go. And then pretty much done. Antlers. This was a really weird antler that didn't go quite the way I wanted it to, but it's alright. little red noses, because it's Christmas, so they're all Rudolph reindeer. We cloned Rudolph. Just FYI. Ooh, a snowman edition of something. That also sounds Christmas themed. I don't think I've heard of that though. Is it going well? It's gonna be the obvious next question. Alright, one reindeer farm done. Next card. No! Erangel, if that's gonna happen now, then I'm gonna yell at you. Erangel wants a monster. I do not want a monster. We do get another ruin space, and so far that has meant a monster after that, so I do not want that. It is not a monster. Also, I have no more ruin spaces, so now I just get to put one thing in one place of my choice. Does this complete another diagonal? It does, but it doesn't score yet, so I could also leave this for later, although it is a minus point. And put something here, because that would actually be 2 points, and this is just -1, so I think it'd be better to put it here now. One more tiny lake. Yeah, that seems like as good a call as any. Lake. All right. Where did I put my white pen? Ah, off to the side. It's at least working a little. But yeah, not very well anymore. Oh, hey, Imi's back on the table. Uh-oh. No, Imi, you cannot be underneath the tablecloth. Yeah, you can sit there. It's good. It's fine. Alright, and then 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, guys. So time to tally points again. Okay, so we're starting with this one. I have, let's see, 1, 2 points. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 for that. And then for this one, I'm gonna have to check which green spaces are entirely surrounded. Let's see which ones are not. So basically, these 4 are not, and all the other ones are. That's good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. And my coins, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And my minus points for the monsters, at least I got rid of those. 1, 2, 3, 4, -4. So that's going to be 34 for me, I believe. Yeah, because this is 20 and then 30 and then 8 -4. I'll wait for you guys to post your scores. Hopefully you guys have at least managed to disremembered how to go on a ruin space if you still had one of those, but I didn't, so I'm very glad I covered those up because this gave me some points and it might help with Borderlands the next round as well, so pretty pleased with that. 29 for Lycan. And we just have Erangel and Wim left to post our scores right now. We're now at 1.5 hours, so 90 minutes, and we have 1 season to go, so looks like we'll wrap it up in 2 hours. I did say we might run close to 10 today, so I don't think I was wrong about that. I'm gonna put another monster in this deck and shuffle these in. I'll leave this one to shuffle in last in case anybody's still looking at the card. In the meantime, I get to shuffle everything else back in. So there's still 2 monsters in the deck and I don't want to see them. Although I do like drawing the little snowman, so I suppose it's alright. $30 for Irango and 28 for Wimp. Alrighty. We're ready to move into winter, which fits our team. Hinter, let's stream first. Why? I don't want that. That's so not helpful. Seriously, that is really not. Not even a little bit. Well, maybe a little bit, but it doesn't fit here. I want it somewhere here if I have to put it somewhere. If I fill up, it doesn't fit here either. This is just lame. It really is. I'll probably just toss it somewhere here, but it's really not great. I guess I'll toss it here. You can imagine it would have been useful once upon a time. But yeah, this is especially since it takes up quite a big chunk of time out of the current season. I'm really displeased with this one. Oh well. It is what it is, guys. Now my blue marker is also bugging out. Markers, why don't you love me? Alright. And now we're gonna argue with my white marker again, which is even worse than this one at this point. Emmy, stop trying to catch the tablecloth. Apparently the pattern... Oh no, what are you... Yeah, you are catching a tablecloth, not your tail at this point. Apparently the pattern on the tablecloth is something that Emmy thinks is a toy. Yes, and I would try to push her off the table. She heard a very mad mew because she's the diva cat. And she doesn't actually want to leave the table. But she did. Out of her own accord, like 2 seconds later. She's like, well, I'll go when I'm ready to go. And now Floof is investigating the tablecloth and wondering what was so interesting about it. That Emmy went all crazy. So he's now sniffing everything. You can see a little bit of Floof here. Hey, Floof. Yes, it's you. Alright, next card. Oh wait, I need to do one more square of this. Whoops, I cut it short. There we go. Yes, Floof, I don't know what's happening either. Confused cat noises. Alright, next card. This tablecloth is turning into a mess. The orchard. Well, that's better at least. I can put that here and get to score 2 more points for the tree tower, get rid of some minus points and help some diagonals along. That's pretty nice. Pretty pleased with that. More Christmas trees. Let's see, there we go. Okie dokie. Where did that marker go? There it is. Getting close to the end, guys. We really are. What's happening, cat? I can hear you doing all sorts of stuff behind me, but I can't see it. Lycan is like, well, if you can cut a piece in half like the patchwork doodle power-up, that would be very helpful. It would. It really would in some cases. Well, actually in a lot of cases. Well, you get to do that tomorrow when we actually play patchwork doodle. Cats, play nice with each other. Pretty, pretty, please. They're still glaring at each other, so I don't think so. Oh, that's the wrong mark. This one. Little tree stump. Alright. Next card. Might be the last one this season. And it is. It is a treetop village. All of these big shapes are so inconvenient at this point, but I can probably put that here and score. Oh no, I cannot score these 2 trees. I can score this 1 tree and this one. I would score 2 more points away. Oh, and this one as well. Score 3 points that way. I would have liked to get rid of some more minus points for the monsters, but I can get rid of 1 more minus point from the monster and it doesn't actually help me much, so it will be better to put them here. Lots more trees. I'm definitely very interested in seeing everybody's sheets at the end of this game. Especially since Wim said since he tried to ignore multiple of the colors. I know Irangol also said he was ignoring one of the scoring cards. I think this is going to be a really interesting one to look at game end. So please do send that to me. And then I'm going to put some trees next to the village. I love how the two villages are now connected to one another by a chain of decorated Christmas trees. Absolutely not useful for any type of scoring, but I like it anyway. But yeah, we got a lot of zeros in previous seasons as well as some numbered ones, so the other seasons were probably longer than average even, and this one was the shortest it could have possibly been. Like not even a ruins card so that we had 1 more card or anything like that, so my shoulder is thankful for that. The rest of me not so much, because I was quite liking the way this was working. I really like this play along, even if my shoulder and I are in disagreement today. I do feel like this was a really fun one to do, both the sheet and the team and everything. And you guys, of course. Very happy to have you guys here. The play-alongs are definitely more fun when there's actually people playing along. I don't mind doing them solo. Heck, that's why I also do just solo playthroughs on here instead of just play-alongs. So I don't mind that at all, but it is fun to play with you guys, especially those of you that send me sheets afterwards and share scores and all that. But even if you might be playing along in silence and not chatting with me at all, or just watching me, I still appreciate all of you being here. Alright, time to tally up the final points. First we have this one. I'm just gonna recount these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so that's gonna be 10, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. This one doesn't qualify, this one does. 20, 21. And that's all of it on this corner. Oh no, this one too. 22, 23, 24. I think that's how much Irangol already had the previous season, so he probably has more now. And we get the broken roads, which I think I did pretty well on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 times 3 is 27. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 coins. And 1, 2 minus points left for the monsters. So that's gonna be 29, 30, 56 for my final season. Am I saying that right? I think I did. 20, 40, 49. Yes, I did. And then I have to tally all of this up. So that's 80, 90, 19. Yeah, so tired. Okay, 80, 90. 90 plus 40 is 130, 139. That's a pretty high score. Quentin is listening in while he's working. I appreciate that. Wim had a total of 56 for the last season as well, but his total for the game is 124. Lycan is ending at 104. Erangel's total was 61 for the season and 138 for the game. I beat you by 1 point then if I did. Woohoo! I did it! That means he'll be back for a rematch, so that's good. I like you guys returning. Well, this was a lot of fun. We managed to wrap up around 9:30 instead of closer to 10, which was the original end time for this play along, but because setup for this particular version took a bit and I was a little late starting, I wasn't sure if we would actually manage, but we did manage to end at 9:30. I'm proud of us. Please share your sheets with me. I hope you guys had fun. And hopefully I'll see you guys tomorrow. We'll start at 6:30 with Sex Stacker, and then at 7:30 we'll do Patchwork Doodle. Alright, have a great rest of your evening, everybody. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for joining. Hope to see you again soon. And if not, if you are not here tomorrow, then have a very Merry Christmas and I'll see you guys around after. Bye, everybody.